All right, here, grab the camera.
Yeah, let me
All you gotta do is hold it. I'll do everything else.
and then hit the
Come
top.
over here. You don't have to hit the top. It's already recording. I'll just cut that out.
Gotcha.
But it's getting easier as you go. Yeah. So I'll show you. I mean, look at the lift on that, right? You get that. Grab. Keep the spool around with you. Right? Stick it right in there. I'm a little hung up right here. Stick it right in there. Boom. Now it's pinned up. You got a soft spot right in the middle. Right? That whole line, I think it's going to break in one shot. Nope. That broke. Yeah, that broke. I felt it. Alright, recording again. Got it all out. Right, I'll talk to you about what to do with it in a minute, but what we're going to do now is we got to slip a 2x4 in there for a form edge. So what we do is we just get in there. You want to go from the inside with the flat shovel because of the angle. If you go from the outside, it's going to slice it in, and you didn't do anything as far as tucking your form in. You're just going to be wrestling with it, beating it in, chipping it out with a hammer or whatever. Get it from the inside, go ahead, stamp it right down. Boom. Chop it, rock it, get it out of there, right? And you're just gonna walk right down this edge, walk right down this edge, get all that stuff out of there so you can slip a form in and you'll be in, right? Got a little bit of a load here, right? So now you gotta know what to do with it. Your trash company ain't gonna take it. You start trying to put it in your dumpster, your little wheel out dumpster. They'll start rejecting it. Maybe you can hide a piece in there. It's going to take you 2 years to get rid of all this if you do that every week, a little piece or two. Somewhere near where you live, there will be a clean fill. There's a big difference between a clean fill and a demo fill, okay? Clean fill, a lot of times they'll take it for free. They just want to fill in a landfill, right? Other places like the one I'm going to take this to, I mean, they charge me like 35 bucks for this whole truckload. Sometimes they charge me 50. I don't know why, but either way, it's cheap enough. Now, if you take it to a demo place, a legit trash place, they're going to charge you by the pound, by the tonnage, okay? And for a load like that, you're going to end up paying a bare minimum of $250 to get rid of it. So search around for a clean fill is what you're looking for. And then when I get back, I'll show you how to form this up. The Quickcrete, I'm going to use Quickcrete. There's nothing wrong with it. I'll show you that, and I'll show you how to calculate how many bags you need. All right, we're back. I laid the forms in. I want to show you how to get them solidly in place and straight and everything like that. There's already stone underneath this, so yours may not have stone underneath it. You're supposed to have 4 inches of concrete, 4 inches of stone, right? So the way you get that calculation is you need your area, and my area is 3 foot wide by 20 feet long. So I got 60 square feet. Now everything cubic yard is the square footage divided by 80. So 60 square foot divided by 80, whatever that comes out to. Break out your calculator. It's like 0.8 cubic yards or something like that. That'll get you 4 inches of a layer of whatever it is. If you're ordering concrete from a truck, this is too small, but if you're ordering concrete from a truck and say it's 800 square foot divided by 80 is 10. That's 10 yards, 10 cubic yards. So your square footage divided by 80 is going to give you a cubic yard of material. So if that's stone, it would have been 10 yards of stone, right? If it's concrete, they'll be equal. 10 yards of stone, 10 yards of concrete. We don't need stone here. So if you're not ordering a truck and you're going to go buy a Quickcrete, they have a bag calculator right on the Quickcrete website, or whatever concrete you use that's at your local supplier. They should have some type of chart. But if they're 40, 50, 60, or 80 pound bags, then you should still be able to make the calculation off the Quikrete website if you want to. Anyhow, a couple things real quick. Expansion joints, right? They come in 5-foot sections. You can get them at your local material supplier, you know, whatever's around you, Home Depot, Lowe's, probably Ace, I don't know, whatever. But you're just cutting them to fit. Make sure you do them first, because you don't want your form coming to the edge of the concrete on this one. You want it coming to the edge of the expansion joint. Expansion joint always goes on new to old. So old concrete, and old concrete, we get an expansion joint everywhere. Now, I don't fasten them up. You can just wait till you pour a little bit of concrete and kind of push them up against the wall and slug some concrete up on it, and boom, it's not going anywhere. Right? All it is for your concretes, your two different slabs are going to move into kind of independently when they contract. You want them to have motion for when it freezes and thaws, for when the seasons contract, all the elements around and stuff like that. So gotta have, and then you also, if you're running a walkway, you want to have it every 20 feet, you know, or at least a cut crack, you know, a relief cut. So anyhow, I'm gonna show you how to get this all. Oh, that's a tragedy. Let me get that. I'm going to show you how to get this all lined up real quick. I cut the 2x4s, I sistered them up, I laid them in there just to cut time on the video. Right? And what I'll do is I'm going to start from this side. I just put a quick line stake in there. So I got something to put the line up to, right? And what I'll do is I'll just tie this one. Tie this one, and then you can just stretch all the other ones. Right? Give me my 4-foot level, bro. You got to have a little pitch for the water to run off of your concrete. So I want to go, this is the pitch I want, because it's going to work better for the yard to go back this way. So if I go to where my line's at, give me the hammer, please. Yeah. All you got to do is cross the bubble over the line a little bit. You get your line on there. Well, geez. Got to be right in a friggin' piece of concrete, right? Dude, what the hell's under here? There we go. All right, I'll just wind it up. That's what I'll do. And I'm gonna get a little bit. There you go, a little bit more down. There, that's touching it. I could stay in the, I'll just wind it down one, is what I'll do on that. Because that's about where I want it, right there. And then everything else be self-explanatory, because we're joining up to existing concrete. So this is the level we need to meet. So you just stab one in there. So Mason's line stretches good, so you know, don't be afraid to really pull on it. You want it tight, right? Also, keep in mind how I'm winding the string. See, I'm going from here, none of that matters, but I'm going this way because it's going to keep me right in line with the inside of my form. So I'm going that way. On this one, I went that way, you know, keep it in line with the inside of the form. My guy's gonna save this video, and now he doesn't need me. He can do the job himself. It's like, what am I working like a slave for this dude for? same deal, right? And look, I'm keeping it on this side of my form because that's where I want it. That's where I want my form to be, right? Gonna make it nice and tight. I just wind the crap out of it. All right, got all the heights. Or I mean, not necessarily heights. You might want to change that later, but you got where it's going to be straight. Now, I like to use screws. A lot of people nail them in. I like to use screws. I don't like beating my beating the pins out of my forms. Grab me some pins, bro. See if I can get one in there just to start. I really don't put them on the inside. But I will just to start. Let's do, I'll bring a couple with me. I'm gonna just show you how to do one side here, and then you should get the gist of it. All right, let me get, yeah. You know, he knows I'll forget all my stuff. He knows, it's okay. I'm not embarrassed about it, dude. It's what it is. Maybe go over here. See if I can push this back a little bit. We're gonna have to push that side in pretty good. Check it. All right. And now look, it doesn't have to be perfect. Look at this guy. This guy's incredible. That's why we gave him a Spartan Warriors nickname. Chilaticus. Right? Now I'm not going to pay too much attention to the height yet because I'll go a little high. I'll just pull it up a little high. Right? I actually would rather this be flush. And then you can always just beat the whole thing down afterwards to match any type of pitch. And that'll be okay. Get in there, buddy. Right. All right, what do we got here? We're a little... Huh. Let me get that first. Really needs a little help getting in there. So I'll go from that side and then get it in there a little bit and then go down, pull it in, go down. You know, we already got it. We're not worried about the string now. All right. You got a pin? Let me have one pin. Find a soft spot in here. Okay, gotta go like this. Just get in there. I'll leave the middle one in, the inside one in there until after we pour and the concrete has held the form inside. Then I can take it out. Now, this one over here, the level might change. I don't know. I'll decide that afterwards. I'll look at it. You get a nice visual afterwards. After you get your forms up and say, this is what my walkway looks like. Do I want to change anything about it, or do I love it? You know what I mean? I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, and I'm going to run my level across. You know, I might have to tilt both of them in the middle right here to get everything running out here. If I just drop them a little bit, nobody will see it, the water will come off of it, and I'll be in good shape, and the walkway will be in great shape. Now also, I like to make my forms before I do my base, right? Because the 2x4 gives you your 4 inches, right? So now I know what my top is, right? If this was dirt down here, I would dig 8 inches below this top. Roughly. It doesn't have to be perfect. If the stone's already in there and there's like 3 inches or maybe even 2.5 in some spots, you're okay. But I get my form going first, and then I know what my depth is. Because you don't want to dig ahead of time and then have a giant gully in there by accident. Holds water. The water will freeze. Destroys your concrete. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish forming it up. We got 2 barrels ready to go, but I'm going to show you an easy way to hand mix these bags. Because if you don't know, they'll torture you. I know it's a little shadowy here. The light's probably going to give you a little bit of a tough time, but you just want to get this flush with your top. Take some of your concrete, push it down in there, right? Clamp it right to that other piece. Tap a little bit if you have to. Right? Get it pressed up there, right? Same thing. I'm going to go right down the bottom here, right, get a little stuff there, and then I'll just cram some concrete in there. No big deal. Right there. Now I like mine concrete to be tight like this. It's better. More workable. You won't be sitting here all day waiting for it to tighten up. It's all right to have some of this old concrete in there. Like, it's just a couple crumbs left. We're losing it in there. No big deal. Now I'm going to leave the whole thing a little low, and we're going to do a stretch right across this. Where are we at? Here, let's get one going so we can just show. So I can shut this footage off. So if you were thinking you're gonna get a mixing hoe, you think that's gonna be enough, bro? It's all right. Anyways, if you think you're gonna get a mixing hoe, you're gonna torture yourself. Use a spade and shovel, right? And all you gotta do is flip the cement, man. Get in there. You see how he's using his thighs to keep that wheelbarrow stable. When you move over here, you can do the same thing over here. You got to kind of intertwine your legs in the handles and just keep that barrel stable. See how he's using his thighs? You get it mixed up a little bit, and then you'll start flipping it. Show them the flip, dude. Can we get a flip going? See the flip? He's using the edge of the wheelbarrow and leveraging it up. Well, he doesn't like to leverage it. I like to leverage it. Yeah. That's it. Just keep flipping it, man. It's way easier than the hoe. So if you got, a few bags to do, don't get a hoe out, man. Don't do it to yourself. Anyhow. See that consistency? It's kind of like a putty, right? Now, if I was to be ready to finish this, you see that? See? I mean, it's not ready to finish. It's got to sit. It's going to get much tighter, but it's stiff. It's workable. You can form it to however you want to form it, but the more important part is you add too much water to this, you're diluting its strength. So you don't want to do that. I'm going to keep that rough. So you don't want to do that, all right? So with that being said, we're going to keep mixing and pouring. I'm going to jump on it and help him out. And when I come back and start the finish, then I'm going to show you guys how to finish. All right, we're back. Now this is the part, as you can see, I put a first layer all the way down. I did that because it's a little bit of a stretch. I don't want the early part tightening up too quick. Yeah, you could do this part with a rake or whatever, but I'm down here with the tool, so I really don't care. Yeah, but you just want to get it in there, right? Get it high, a little bit high, and then we're gonna screed it afterwards. All right, try and keep your expansion joint neat. It's just a better job. I don't know. You might be doing this for a customer and you wanted to look at the video. So if it's your house and you don't care about the expansion joint, don't worry about it. Yeah. Sometimes you get a big chunk in the bag. Oh, get them the hell out of there. Get them down low. Yeah. All right, got a little high there, right? Make sure it's even. You got to kind of fluff it a little bit, right? Make sure it's all in there, right? You could tap your forms. You're not tapping that, it's concrete. But anywhere there's a wood form, tap it, right? Fill your corners, fill all your edges up, right? Because if you finish this part good, you won't be wrestling with it at the end. Right, and right now all we're doing is really just the shaping.
Where'd my handprints go? Right about there?
Right there.
Yeah, got it.
All right, now I got my screed board. You just pick one that's at least a little bit wider than your opening, right? And you can just keep pushing up right up under that. Yeah, screed it side to side. Make sure you're not you know, getting a bunch of crap on the existing pavement. Now this, my pin's sticking up a little bit, so then I'll just diagonal it and we'll just work our way right down. Yeah, we're gonna go down the whole walk like that, right? So you know, Chilaticus is back there with a barrel almost ready to go, and he's gonna keep dumping them, and I'm just gonna keep screeding right down. I'm gonna leave my screeder right there. See, that's nice and flat. That's the first part of finishing it. So I'm going to run all the way down here, and I'm going to keep checking on this to see when it's tightening up, because this is all about timing when you're doing concrete, right? So the first thing I'm going to want to do is an early strike in my corners and in each segment, right? My straight striker, my line striker. The reason I'm going to do that is I want to push the stones out of the way. If the concrete gets too tight, then you're going to be ripping stones out instead of pushing them out of the way with the tool. So I'm going to show you all that stuff. I'm going to keep checking it. When it comes that time, we'll come back on. But for right now, I'm going to keep moving right down this walkway. All right, it's starting to dry up here. This didn't take too long because we used the red bags. All right, this is what I'm going to do is a quick strike. Show you what I did so far. We need the line striker. Try to have yours a little cleaner than mine. And the corner striker. Right, you can see I marked all my lines basically. where I'm going to put those center strikes at, right? I kind of just line this one up with this because you really don't want an offset line in there. I'd rather see it lined up with the other walkway here. And then I just divided the rest of this into sections that were 3 to 4 foot long, somewhere in that area. They ended up being 46 inches. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just doing a quick strike to get the stones out of the way. And I'll eyeball it. I got a pretty good eyeball for square, right? And I think that's probably it. And am I landing right there? Yes, I am. All right. Just keep a light hand on this pass because the cement. Oh, hey. It's unbelievable, this guy. Just refuses to pick another entrance. Anyways, you keep a light hand on that because the cement's still wet, you know what I mean? You don't want to, and your lines don't got to be exact. Nobody's coming out here with a measuring device and saying, oh, that's 1/4 inch off. Same thing with when you're forming. The concrete's liquid, man. You're not building cabinets. You can adjust a little bit. But all I'm doing, light hand, all them little stones in the mix that just come in the mix, I'm just kind of pushing them out of the way so that when it's a little tighter and it's ready, the stones won't be impeding my progress. Because what they do is they end up, you're doing so good finishing, and they end up just ripping out your nice finish because you're plucking them out instead of pushing them around because the mix is so tight. Yeah, I just see that a little more square, right? So boom, got my center strikes on there. I've got to run my corners real quick. Now I'm right-handed, so I like to move this way. I'm in the shade a little bit here, but you just want to get that in there, right? Kind of dig it in next to the 2x4 and hold it towards the 2x4. This is my first stuff I poured, so it's pretty tight right now. It's good finishing consistency. But you see how it'll pull the stones out if it's too dry. I'll put a little cream over that, you know, when I'm finishing. I'll pull a little cream over there. But for right now, and don't worry about your center strikes because you're just going to go back over them a little bit later. Yeah, okay, we're getting to some more wetter stuff here. So you got to adjust your pressure, you know. Hit it with a light hand if it's wet. You can hit it with a heavy hand if it's tight. Just keep it against the wood. This way it'll stay straight, give you a nice corner, right? Boom, that's one corner. After I do this, I'm gonna swing back through this way. After I do this, I'll probably clean the edges of the top of my wood. Anyways, whatever. See, this is real wet down here. We literally just poured that. Right? Clean it up, get it. If it's wet enough, you get it in there. If it's real crummy, push it off into the grass. No problem. Because that stuff, believe it or not, man, it'll get in your way while you're finishing. I mean, for the mag. And I'm going to clean up that edge first. Get it nice and smooth over there. You know. See? Sometimes you got to fluff it. Sometimes you got to collect a little Nice cream from over here. Get it on there. It's windy out here today. We're getting a lot of shrapnel in the concrete. But I'm just getting a quick hit on this right now. Look at these leaves, man. But you have to get to know this tool. You got to rock the edges up and down. Still a little loose, but I'm just giving it a little. It ain't making cream yet. All right, we got our. I'm gonna test these. This is actually pretty good. I just basically gotta work it, man, until it's all smooth, and you're seeing the cream. You're pushing the stones down and pulling the cream up at the same time with this tool, because it's a. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a little concave. I don't know if the material, the magnesium, has anything to do with it. May not. I don't know, dude. I just know I pick up the tool and I put it on the concrete, and this is what it does. So I'm just getting the heavy spots out right now. I'm gonna let the rest of that sit for a minute, but you get the idea, right? You want to do a quick first hit on the edges and in the center. All right, we're at the end. I did a couple. I magged a couple those two previous blocks, but I'm going to show you the difference of what the way you need the concrete to be. So this is pretty tight. It could even be a little tighter, but remember, you're rocking the tool. You're rocking the tool this way, this way. You see how I'm picking that up over there? Not quite as harsh as I just did. I did that kind of just to show you, right? But you see, this is tight, right? So the concrete's staying in place overall. The top's pulling a little bit, like you're pulling it around like a skin, right? A little bit. I could wait a little longer, but we're coming to the end of the day. I know how to finish concrete. I don't have to wait a little longer, okay? But this is what I'll show you. Over here, you look in the shade. This is the shady spot. Not quite set up yet, but you see that water on there. You know, that water comes to the top first, and then it kind of dissipates. So we're going to be waiting on this one for a little while. Let me fill that corner in while I'm here. Get that slurry right off the top. Let it relax in there. I'll just keep hitting it every so often. Yeah. If it's giving you hell, you could grab a sponge, kind of take some of that water off the top there. But you can see where it's in the dead ass shade right there. It don't want to finish. Yeah, this is a little more gummy, a little more slimy. You know, so I'm pulling all this cream to the top here, right? And then what I'm gonna do is, after I get done that part, right, I'll do this. You gotta pick these little guys out of here. I'll get this. See that nice cream coming to the top there? All the stones got pushed down, and now we got this nice, really nice material to work with. You know, it's really hard right there. That's actually how I like to finish it best. Yeah. I'm gonna get this whole thing done. I'm gonna show you how I do one tile. real quick here. This is the best one right here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you how we do it. Now we're gonna grab the corner tool, do a final on it, right? I'll go a little back. Just give it a little more pressure. Now you can give it more pressure because the concrete's tight under there. But you see, these stones, they'll give you a little bit of a tough time sometimes. Just keep wiping your tool off. See them stones? They're like little bastards, man. If they're giving you, they're giving you that much of a tough time, just steal a little cream, fill it in, right? Fill it in, and back over that. You got it, don't mess with it. Boom, right? Gonna get over here on this side. I'm just gonna show you one complete tile right here, and then you'll be good to run. This side's pretty tight. It's really getting a lot of sun, so I can give it a good press. That nice corner on there, right? Got a little angry little slot right there. I'm gonna try to steal a little cream. I should have brought my mag float over here, but I didn't. It's all right. Right? And get my center tool. I'm gonna get my center tool and finish up, right? I don't like that. Got a little floppy. So I'll break out my something to be a little more straight. Right there. Right. And I'm just gonna keep it against the wood. Get a little better job here. Right, I'm going to do that. I'll do the same thing over here. Line it up. So we already moved our stones out of the way. This one needs a little more help, but you know, if they start getting in your way again, give it a little pressure. Right? We're gonna get that out of the way, and then I like to use this big guy right here, right? Fix up all the line work, get all that stuff out of there. Now what this does, you're fixing the line work and you're getting it nice and flat. Don't worry about the boogers, man. They'll wear right off. First 7 people that walk on it, shit'll be gone. All right. So just kind of fill in your holes along the way. I might steal a little bit for that. Right? Needs a little help here. You think it's not that offensive, but what ends up happening is you brush stroke it and it looks even better, and you're like, oh, I got it out with the brush. They call that scrubbing it out, right? You think you got it, and then when it dries, you see that offensive thing in there, right? So that's a block, right? And they say, get that, gotta get that concrete brush. Man, I don't care what I use, dude. Just get it. And look, if the walking is going that way, like people are walking that way, you have to go across the footsteps. You can't go this way. That's per code, but also it just makes sense, right? Just go with a light hand, pull it. Go with a light hand, pull it. Clean your broom. Chilaticus thought I was talking to him. It's like, I'm sick of this guy. I like to frequently clean the broom, right? Look, my lines are crooked. I don't like them. But I need to get over to this side anyway, so I'll do a little redo. Just gotta use your center strike as a guide. Boom. Can we get that a little bit better? Sounds like you gotta do it a couple times sometime. That's gonna be your finished concrete, right? I gotta wait on some of this other stuff, but pal, you're done. That, oh yeah, then I like to wait a couple days, unless you have to plaster the sides too, like if it's raised up. I'll wait a couple days, then I'll just take a pickaxe and just stuff it right under the form and pry it up, and all the pins will come right up with it. Just pry it right up, they come right off. You can let the grass settle back in, or you can take your pile over there, get it back in, whatever you want to do.